Hey everyone, it's Andrew from Switch It Up, and it's time for us to get it together for our review of Warioware Get It Together for the Nintendo Switch. This review was written and edited by me. It seems like forever now since we've had a brand new WarioWare game, seeing as the last installment of the series, WarioWare Gold, was a mashup of minigames from the series' history, and since then we haven't had a brand new start for a completely different kind of WarioWare game until Get It Together, that is. The story starts with just another typical day at WarioWare Inc. Then we see Wario finishing a video he created. As he prepares to show the crew, the game begins to float and literally gets a mind of its own, and starts sucking in the employees of WarioWare, turning them into cute, bite-sized chibi versions of themselves. It's up to Wario and his wacky friends to exterminate the viruses in his game for good and return back to normal. Now, the icing on the cake is the minigames. There are over 200 microgames for the player to tackle that require sharp reactions and quick thinking on the fly in order to smash your way to the boss level of each set of microgames and to set a record high score. Each microgame is personalized with all kinds of different tasks. For example, squeezing out toothpaste, protecting Earth from space aliens, calming a crying baby, and so much more. This time, instead of pushing buttons for the first time ever, you get to control the characters to complete the microgames, which require extra attention to detail, because one wrong move, and before you know it, the timer ends and you fail the minigame. Fail 2 more times and the game makes you start all over again. Luckily, in the main story, you are able to use the in-game currency if you get a game over to continue. This zany and wacky cast of WarioWare characters comes with a plethora of abilities and challenges that can take on any microgame and make it a snap. For example, Mona zooms around on her scooter while using her trusty boomerang to do long-distance tasks that the player may not be able to reach, or blast items away in a pinch to make a clear path. Ashley uses her spooky abilities to ride around on a broomstick while shooting spells directly forward, wiping out obstacles in front of her. Orbulon uses his UFO ray in order to pick up the most tangible things and place them wherever he wants. And finally, 18-Volt can use the ring on the top of his head to launch it everywhere. However, the drawback is that he's a sitting duck, so you really need to time his moves carefully and efficiently. We don't want to spoil every character, so let's go ahead and move on over back to the microgames. There are lots of different categories of microgames to play, including sports, life, fantasy, nature, and my favorite, Nintendo Classics. In my opinion, the Nintendo Classics are the best set of microgames in the game because it puts you in the world of Nintendo for just a moment to accomplish these short but sweet microgames. You can help Luigi find ghosts, hit a status object out of the way for Link, deliver a present to your neighbor in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and you can even accomplish perfect tea time in Fire Emblem Three Houses. We can tell when the developers made the Nintendo microgames, the imagination and creativity was endless. There are so many neat and awesome Nintendo franchises featured in this section. Another new aspect WarioWare Get It Together brought to the table was co-op play for the very first time to the series. It can be hard enough completing the microgames by yourself, but having a friend or another person playing with you is hectic fun. The microgames are carefully laid out so that 2 players can play, and you really have to put your heads together before the time runs out to successfully complete the microgame, as some microgames can be much harder with 2 players than 1. Speaking of 1 player, what is there to do after the story? What more could you do after playing each microgame at least once? Fear not, because Warioware Get It Together has even more content that you can do post-game, aside from grabbing the highest score you can. It introduces the shiny new variety pack that lets you play a stellar series of party games for 2 players or more. There are super fun games like Gotta Bounce, where you and a friend have to work together on keeping a soccer ball up in the air and not letting it touch the ground. Another fun game is Frenemy Frenzy, which plays like a straight-up brawl fighting game where each of you beats the crap out of each other until your HP runs out. Then we have my personal favorite, Pucker Up. It starts with both players playing as a random character, where you each play a round of air hockey, and whoever scores a goal has to play a microgame. While you are playing the microgame, the twist is that the other player can try to mess you up by shrinking, shaking, and even squishing the microgame, making it harder to complete it. Another new feature introduced in Warioware Get It Together is customization. There are several ways you are able to customize your character, and even special outfits as well, but we aren't going to spoil those. To wrap things up, Warioware Get It Together is a fantastic entry into the Warioware series, and we give this game a score of amazing. We would like to hear your thoughts though. What do you think of Warioware Get It Together? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss all our future Nintendo news and reviews. Until next time, I'm Andrew from Switch It Up, and we will see you in the next video.